Michelle, just start by telling me who you are, where you're from, and why you were excited to join ESYC.
So I'm Michelle Hamilton Page, and I'm from Victoria, British Columbia. So I'm from Canada, and I have been part of Working Group 1, which is looking at demand side of ESYC, which I've been saying is ESYC, but whatever, my Canadian accent. But really, I'm involved in the citizen engagement side of things. So I'm one of a few people, there were 4 of us, that have put together a citizen call to action, or call to action about citizen engagement. So I'm most excited about that piece, looking at how we as individuals can be involved in every step of the process. So yeah, here to talk.
And why do you think that it's so important to have a citizen-focused view, not only throughout this process, but when we're talking about the evidence ecosystem in general?
Right. Well, there's an adage, nothing for us without us. And I think that's really important from a local, a national, and a global perspective. My work tends to be looking at health and planetary health. And so I think that as folks who are influencing what happens on the day-to-day, how we vote, how we're engaged locally, we also need to be thinking globally and have a voice that goes both from our local community to a global perspective in a time of polycrisis. So we influence decision makers, and decision makers can also call on us to talk about our perspectives when looking to shift policy or inform policy and legislation. So I can see our role locally in terms of planetary health, our own health, all of the sustainable development goals, but also how we're influencing globally as we have those conversations and learn to speak to either read into evidence, to learn from evidence, and then use that in our own daily lives and our decision making, but also as we vote or as we engage with folks that are representative of our communities.
Great response. And what have you learned from ESYC over the last 6 months?
I've learned a lot. I think I've learned about the challenges of making that value of citizen engagement really clear to folks that might not be directly engaged with citizen voices in the process of their work. I think I've learned about the importance of advocacy from a local level to that global level, and having conversations north and south about how we create communities that will speak to and will be involved in and will be advocates for being involved in evidence synthesis and in generation of research. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I think those conversations are happening in really important ways in this process. So it's been good to be involved, to see both where there are gaps, but also to see where there are real strengths around things like we saw this morning around storytelling and how that's being used. And yeah.
And when you look at the roadmap and solutions across the different working groups, what are you excited about from a citizen perspective?
So we've just had our first breakout where we're talking with other working groups. So I'm really excited to hearing about how working groups have included citizen perspectives and have looked at the call to action around citizen engagement and are thinking about where we are built in a number of places, a number of different steps. So I'm excited to see how that all comes together as the working groups come together, but also as we talk about sort of the cross-pollination as those groups have been considering what the role of citizens are in each of the working groups.